Verdict Form 5, abuse of a corpse, as to Maurice Gordon. We, the jury, found the defendant guilty.
And guilty on all charges. Murderer Bryce Rhodes is now waiting for his sentence. Will it be life in prison? A jury determines that he tortured and killed 2 teenage brothers while also killing another man. The jury wasting no time with the decision that came in last night. That verdict came down just before 9:30 last night. Today, back in court to learn his fate. It's our top story at 5. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Shay McAllister. Bryce Rhodes is facing life in prison for the murders of Larry Ordway, Maurice Gordon, and Christopher Jones. Alexis Jones and Emma Gefter are back in the courtroom today for that sentencing testimony.
And Alexis, give us a status right now from the courtroom. Have attorneys finished for today, and will it pick back up again tomorrow?
Not yet, Doug. Attorneys are not done calling up witnesses, but they plan to call up more tomorrow morning. But before wrapping up for the day, the jury heard from several people, including the teen's grandmother. She broke down in tears as she talked about how this loss has impacted loved ones.
I can't even begin to tell you how this has been. Nothing is the same. Nothing. We just can't get over it. We cannot. We don't know how to deal with it. It's been 7 years and 7 months.
Deborah Wren has been in the courtroom every day since the beginning of the trial. This is her second time on the stand, but today she talked about the memories she shared with Larry Ordway and Maurice Gordon. The brothers were brutally killed in 2016, while the jury convicted Bryce Rhodes for their murders. Prosecutors say he has a long history of crime dating back to 2009. This includes domestic violence, armed robbery, assault, and violating parole. However, the defense stressed today Rhodes shouldn't be defined by his actions.
Bryce is a human being. And more importantly, Bryce is a person who's had a life that got him to this point.
And coming up at 6 p.m., you will hear from Rhodes' stepmother for the first time. She will talk about his upbringing. In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS11 on your side.
All right, Alexis, thank you again. The testimony from family members has been ongoing on this day. Coming up at 6, you're going to hear more from the people who have had to wait for this day since 2016. Sentencing hearing will again start tomorrow when Bryce Rhodes may learn his fate, possible time in prison.
Right now, Kentucky State Police need your help finding this escaped inmate from the Hardin County Detention Center Substance Abuse Program. His name is Tony Stevens. He's 37 years old, about 5'9" and 160 pounds. Police describe him as bald with blue eyes. Officials say he may be heading north toward the Covington area. If you do see him, you're asked not to approach him. Instead, call 911 or State Police directly at 270-766-5078. The man shot by police during a traffic stop earlier this month appeared in court today after spending several days in the hospital. An arrest citation shows police first saw Marvin Smith at a gas station on Berry Boulevard tying off clear plastic baggies. Police say when they tried to stop him, he ran and pointed his gun at them. The citation also said one of the officers was heard at least 15 times calling for Smith to drop his gun before shooting him. He is currently facing a number of charges, including wanton endangerment of a police officer, fleeing and evading, and trafficking a controlled substance. Today, he pleaded not guilty to the charges. He's expected back in court on December 28th.
A developing story today. An employee from the Academy at Shawnee in Louisville has been arrested and charged with sex abuse charges. This week, a grand jury indicted Sear Wilson on 3 counts of rape in the 3rd degree and 1 count of sex abuse in the 1st degree. According to Louisville Metro Police, the charges stem from incidents that date from 2017 and 2020, when Wilson was the marching band ensemble coordinator in connection with the band boosters at Ballard High School, and then later employed at Shawnee. JCPS says Wilson is being reassigned from his teaching duties. He's expected to be in court January 8th next year. Right now, the WHAS 11 night team is on this developing story. At 11, we're going to learn more about his past from court records. And we are talking to people tonight close to Shawnee, one mother with a child in that class. The band director at Bullitt County High School has been fired after a police investigation found at least 8 possible victims of inappropriate behavior. The school district of Bullitt County says Rodney Stoltz has been on non-teaching duties since the beginning of the school year when Shepherdsville police informed the district multiple former students had reported alleged criminal activity. The Bullitt County attorney says those allegations included kissing, having students sit in his lap, providing alcohol to minors, and inappropriate communication. The former students say it happened between 2013 and 2022. Today, police announced they will not be filing charges due to the statute of limitations and questions over jurisdiction. The county attorney says some acts happen outside of Bullitt County, and the statute of limitations for misdemeanor offenses is 1 year. Shepherdsville police say the case is now closed.
New today, nearly 25 years after fishermen found remains in Lake Barkley, Kentucky State Police have identified the body as an FBI fugitive. According to state police, 2 fishermen found a body wrapped in tire chains and anchored with a hydraulic jack in 1999. At the time, investigators weren't able to identify the man, so they created a profile for him in the National Missing and Unidentified Person database. Well, this year, Kentucky State Police say they started working with a private forensic lab that specializes in forensic genealogy. And it was through that specific testing they were able to identify the remains as Roger Dale Parham. At the time of his disappearance, he was on the run from authorities in Arkansas. According to the FBI, he had been arrested and charged with rape in 1998, 1 year before his remains were discovered. Authorities say he was released on bond, but failed to show up for a court date. It was speculated he fled the area to avoid prosecution. His cause of death remains undetermined, but it is being investigated as a homicide. Anyone with any information in this case is encouraged to submit tips to the Kentucky State Police website.
If you happen to stay up late after Monday Night Football and join us for our newscast, we came on showing you crashes on the roads across Kentuckiana, mostly 264 in West Louisville, snow-covered and icy conditions. It was quite a surprise, quite a snowy blast.
But boy, it didn't last. This morning's sunshine just had all that snow out of here, Colleen.
Yeah, it's been nice and clear and sunny all day, but boy, it is still cold. We did not get out of the 30s today, but thankfully our weather is switching up and we have some warmer temperatures. That is, if you want warmer temperatures and no snow in that forecast for Christmas weekend, we're talking all about it. Looking at the sunset right now, we're only seeing a few upper level clouds out there. Very pleasant day regardless of the temperatures, fairly below average. Typically we're in the upper 40s. We're about 10 degrees below average right now. 39 right now sitting at the All International, mid 30s in E-Town. The wind calmed down as we headed towards right around 2-3 p.m. and now it only feels like the mid 30s out there. So it's still a little chilly with that wind and it's going to stick with us overnight tonight. In fact, these are your temperatures by 9 o'clock, dipping below freezing rather quickly with temperatures again in the 20s. It was really cold this morning. We were in the teens around town and tomorrow morning we'll be in the mid-20s. Wind chill value is going to make it feel like the low 20s out there tomorrow morning. So it is going to be another frigid night that we have in store, and then that sunshine is going to bring us to the 50s tomorrow afternoon. Much warmer forecast. It will be a nice day, but you will notice a few more clouds up in the sky, staying dry throughout your day on Wednesday and Thursday before we get to a more rainy setup as we head towards this weekend. So high of 50 in Louisville tomorrow, 52 in Cordon. So it's going to be about a 10-degree temperature change as we jump to tomorrow afternoon, all because of this south wind. Mostly dry through Friday, but you will notice a few clouds. We're talking Christmas. A system could bring us some showers. I'll time that out a little closer coming up. Doug, Shay.
Colleen, thank you. In a new interview with WHAS11 News late this afternoon, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear doubling down on key priorities with this year's budget address and what he called his Forward Together budget. His focus is now Kentucky's education and its future. He wants to invest $1.1 billion to fund an 11% pay raise for teachers, bus drivers, and other staff members. That would bring the starting teacher pay in Kentucky to just over $42,000 a year. His plan would also fund universal pre-K with $172 million each year. Governor wants to use $500 million in grants for clean water. And in a move that would specifically impact Jefferson County, he wants to fund 2 new female-only juvenile detention centers.
These are the things that actually matter to our people, not red, not blue. These are the things that are important to everyone. This budget reflects our shared Kentucky values of family, faith, and community.
Bashir also wants to fund the renovation of the Jefferson County Juvenile Center. In helping with the overloaded foster care system, he hopes to create more resources for family members that step up to take care of their kids in their custody. And he plans to add $10 million a year to increase rates for these relative caregivers.
These projects are necessary because we cannot have low-level male offenders in the same areas as more violent offenders, and we must separate males and females in custody for their safety.
For the state workforce, he's proposing a 6% raise across the board. Governor Bashir emphasized that in 10 of the last 12 years, these workers have not received a raise. This is an effort to catch up. Well, again, late this afternoon, we sat down one-on-one with the governor in Frankfort to dive in some of the new details revealed in the budget plan, specifically how he plans to get these things through the Republican-controlled legislature.
When we look at our legislators, so many of them are from a county where the largest employer is the school district. So think about what it means to them to not have enough educators in the rooms that are educating their kids, all of our kids, but also think about what it means if the largest employer in their district has an 11% raise for every employee. The amount that's going to impact the local economy, the things that it's going to allow for people to do. I mean, this is a chance to jumpstart a lot of local economies out there.
WHAS11's Isaiah Kim Martinez interviewed the governor one-on-one today. Again, late this afternoon. We'll have more from him coming up right here tonight at 6.
And today we're learning more about a health scare for the Lieutenant Governor, Jacqueline Coleman. She said she has a family history of cancer and concerns were raised at a recent doctor's appointment, so she made the decision to go ahead with a double mastectomy. According to U of L Health, a mastectomy is the removal of an entire breast and is typically for patients with multiple tumors or a family history of cancer, just like the Lieutenant Governor. U of L Health says a mastectomy isn't the only treatment option, but it's one that many women will choose.
When we're dealing with an early stage breast cancer on one side, which is the most common presentation that we see, a lot of times a lumpectomy where you take out just the spot of the breast cancer is equal in terms of survival compared to a mastectomy. However, you can certainly imagine where there are situations where women will prefer to have, the breast removed and just not have to think about it as much. That's certainly something we run into a lot and something we discuss at their appointments.
U of L Health recommends annual screenings to catch any potential cancers early and also in-depth conversations with your healthcare provider if you do have any concerns.
Kentucky State Representative Keturah Herron of Louisville is running for the Kentucky State Senate next year. Herron will campaign for District 35 after incumbent Senator Denise Harper Angel said she would not run or seek re-election. Herron won a special election February last year for House District 42, which stretches east and west across Louisville from the Chickasaw neighborhood to Germantown. With that victory, Herron became the first openly LGBTQ Kentuckian elected to the State House of Representatives. She replaced longtime Representative Reginald Meeks, who retired in 2021.